Hello, everyone. This week I wanted to cover some basic principles of designing a workout. To start this off, I wanted to cover the three planes. First, we have the frontal plane, which divides the body into front and back halves. So, imagine a window pane where to split you in half, front and back. Um, this would mean that we could do exercises, movements like this or sideways. We're going along that window pane. So, an example of an exercise for that would be like a lateral raise. We're going along that window pane. We're not going forward, we're not going backward, we're just going all along this side, that abduction. Second, we have the sagittal plane, which would cut us straight down the middle into left and right halves. Some examples of this would be a lunge, because we're going on that forward motion. Imagine that window pane straight down the middle. So we're going forward, backward motions. Example of this would be a bicep curl, where we would go straight up and down. We're going along that window pane. And then third, we have the transversal plane. All this would be as if you had a little cut in the half right here, and we do rotational stuff. All these transversal exercises are going to contain some portion of rotation. Um, and to start off, when you're designing a workout, you want to put exercises in a specific order, where we have larger muscle groups being worked first. In a squat, we are working the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes, the back. This exercise works many muscles, more larger muscle groups. So the squat would go first in a exercise. You want to think about multi-joint exercises. These are going to go first as well at the top. All that means is that if we look at a lateral raise, the only joint that is moving is this right here. So it's a singular joint, where if we were to go like this and then up, or like that and then a press, this is working this joint right here along with the shoulder joint going forward, up. You also want to consider more explosive movements first. So anything like jump squats, anything that's going to make you tired faster, the more intense exercises you're going to want to place first. And as you go on in the exercise, you're going to want the tasks to get easier. Um, and then another thing you want to do is you could mix up planes of motion. So, say one exercise, we are focused on the sagittal plane, that forward window pane. So, we would do a forward lunge, but maybe the next exercise, to mix up that plane of motion, you could do a sideways lunge, focusing on that frontal plane, that side to side window pane. And then you want to consider more cyclical exercises to go first. What this means is the exercises that demand more movement. So, let's say if we had a squat versus a squat with a knee raise, that knee raise adds more components to the exercise. So, we would want to put those towards the top of the exercise, top of the program as well. And then we have this term called isometric. This means isometric contraction, where you flex the muscle, but the muscle does not change length. You are not moving the muscle. So, where this could go, an example would be a plank. So we're holding that plank. We have those chest muscles, those abdominal muscles, they're being contracted, but they're not changing any shape. They're not being moved. So it would be considered an isometric contraction. These you would want to put at the bottom of the exercise. Um, like, uh, like before, how I said more cyclical, more movement based exercises, you're going to want to put to the top. So these more isometric exercises are going to want to go to the bottom. And then lastly, we have if you want to work single body parts. So let's say you wanted to do a single arm bicep curl, single arm leg extension, you're going to want these to go more to the bottom. So any exercise that works larger muscle groups, the more muscles being worked, those are going to the top. And then when you want to work single body parts, those are going to go more to the bottom. And so I have here a couple examples of exercises, and then I'm just going to work through and put them in order for you. So we have push-ups, a burpee, shoulder taps, tricep wall push-offs, and plank. So looking at these, you would see that the burpee is more explosive because we're dropping down, doing a push-up, and then adding a jump to it. So this you would want to put first in your exercise. Next, we have the push-ups. This is working the chest, multi-joint exercise. So we're dropping down. So elbow joint being closed, shoulder joint coming down. So this would be the next in line. We have shoulder taps, we have tricep wall push-offs, and we have a plank. So looking at these, I would say that tricep wall push-offs, we're going to stay up on our feet before we drop to the floor. So tricep wall push-offs, just one shoulder joint. And then we have shoulder taps and a plank. Shoulder taps, I would say, goes next, because if we look at a plank, this is that isometric contraction that we were talking about. So this we want to put last. So what we have is a burpee, then push up, then a tricep wall push off, and then a shoulder tap, and then a plank.